For our first story, we have my 29 male GF27 female has a blackmail folder on her computer. She has one on me too. What should my next move be? So I've been with my girlfriend for about 6 months and we've had zero big issues. We have opposite personalities. I always try to be chill and she's more strict and more of a decision maker. She comes from money and works for her family corporation, and she's told me that it changed her brain chemistry because she has to work really hard to be taken seriously because of her age in relation to the business. She's someone that has to have control over every decision and has a way of getting her way, even with something as simple as deciding where to eat. This hasn't bothered me too much until I found out the extent of it. She has a laptop that she guards with her life. IDKY, but the other night when she got up to pee she didn't close it properly and I just jumped in to snoop while she was in the bathroom. I don't even know what I was looking for, but I found a blackmail folder of everyone from her business partners to friends and family. She had a folder on her uncle having a gay sexting session, had a folder on some random guy cheating on his wife. I don't even know how she got it. She had screenshots of her friends' old tweets. And I even found a folder on what I think were my initials, but couldn't open it because she got back. Again, I never had any issues with her and I was going to keep dating her, but now I'm genuinely worried. Maybe paranoid, I haven't done anything bad, but what if she took pictures of me without me knowing or something like that? I'd be so embarrassed. I don't know what to do genuinely. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, break up with her. She seems like a vengeful person and readily armed to destroy whoever betrays her. Just tell her in these 6 months you've really enjoyed the time you spent together, but you realized you're entirely different people. You respect and admire her work ethic, but you're not so organized about every single detail. You're carefree, chill, laid back, and prefer a lifestyle and partner who can match your personality. That you both do have opposite personalities, and in the long run you don't see this truly working out. Basically tell her something she can believe, lie if you have to, and run. Don't even bother deleting that folder or bringing it up. Leave as amicably as you can. Do not piss her off. She is vindictive. She prefers to ruin someone's life. This is not wife material unless you're in the mafia. Our second commenter says, I used to be friends with someone like this. She ruined my life on a whim. It's been years since we last spoke, and I still have yet to recover from all the damage she's done, socially or mentally. The last thing anyone needs in their lives is someone who thinks this sort of behavior is okay. Our third commenter says, people are saying some crazy shit here, but if you think about it, she's kinda sloppy. If I had a blackmail folder that could be used to incriminate me, first step would be to password protect it. Leaving her computer accidentally unlocked? I've had boring training videos on different companies teaching not to do this, and I can't fathom someone who claims to have had their brain chemistry altered, committing such an amateur mistake. Just dump her, OP. And I wouldn't think too much about trying to get copies or whatever, just distance yourself from that person and be done with it. She doesn't seem like someone who can provide you with a healthy relationship. For our second story, we have wife of a friend, 30 female, kept asking me, 32 male, for sex. For context, I served in the military with my buddy back in 2013. Lost contact for a while until 2021, where we ran into each other at a restaurant. He gained a wife and a few children over the years. They were all there, and that was my first time meeting his wife. And it turned out, they lived 15 minutes away from where I live. So, of course we get to hang out. He and his wife bicker a lot, which is normal when you've lived with someone for a while. However, she becomes a bit too disrespectful at times, in my opinion, to him during those moments. For context, she joked that his penis was small. Things like that. Blatant lack of respect. And sometimes I see why. My friend isn't a very strong-willed man. He won't stand up to her when she disrespects him in front of company. He once disclosed depression and mental issues. He also disclosed that he contemplates suicide, however his children are the reason he does not, which scares me. His wife and I were on good terms. We had the type of relationship where we would talk shit to each other often, in a friendly way. Sent each other memes and funny videos we see on social media, etc. I never thought it was a problem. Never heard about it. I kept things professional, never did anything to cross that boundary. One day, I was over for their youngest child's first birthday party. I'm like an uncle figure to them. There were many people there, family, friends. A few of us were hanging in the kitchen, and others around the house. My buddy and his wife started bickering, and that's when she announced that they once argued about me, because he thought his wife and I had sex. Everyone heard it. He stayed silent. I felt awkward, so I left immediately. The next day I talked to both of them about it. She apologized, and I clarified with my buddy that nothing like that happened. Fast forward. I went out to a bar. His wife was out with her friends at a different place. She did a video call and saw that I was hanging out, and wanted to meet. So she came with 2 other friends. After a while she started flirting, touching, and asking, "Would you F me?" Over and over. I said, "No." She also asked, "If we F, would you tell my husband?" I said, "Yeah, but we will never F." Going home that night, I was very sad and upset about it all. I want to tell my friend, but I'm afraid he might hurt himself, and that it might break up the family. Update. I told my friend about this situation, and I also talked to my girl about it. They both handled it way better than a lot of you in the comments. Some of y'all need help. Anyway, according to him, she told him a lie. She told him we just so happened to meet at the bar. I told him the truth, that she called, as well as everything she said. I also showed him that I blocked her on social media, and he confirmed that she did not have my number. He said thanks for letting him know. I would upload a screenshot of the texts, but I don't know how. Hit my DM if you want the screenshots. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "If he's your buddy, you need to stop enabling any of her behavior towards you immediately. You need to shut this shit down. No more messaging and meme sending. Remove yourself from any part of being in the backfiring line. And tell your buddy he deserves better and help get him some proper support." Our second commenter says, "Why on earth are you on good terms with the twat who comes on to you and disrespects and insults your friend? You either need to tell him or get out of their lives. He really should be told. That's information he needs to make decisions about his life." Our third commenter says, "Tell him before she makes up a story." For our last story, we have, "Due to poor economic situation, me 24 female and my husband 30 male have moved in with his mother 55 female with our young infant. She doesn't have any understanding of food safety, and has fed all 8 of her now adult children spoiled food for their entire lives. How can I politely avoid eating spoiled food? She is a nice woman, but fairly stubborn. Also a language barrier. There is no social services where we live, so staying with her is the only real option right now. I am physically disabled without proper visa, so I can't work, but my husband is looking. She cooks for everyone in the house, currently somewhere between 6 to 10 with her grandchildren included. The only problem is that she cooks in batches and will leave the food on the counter and continue feeding it to everyone for sometimes upwards of 1 week. I am not exaggerating in the slightest. Then she will put it in the fridge for 2 or 3 weeks and try to feed it to everyone again. I caught her once when the baby was a newborn feeding him bottles that had been left out for 12 hours, then getting upset when the baby would refuse and go without. I had to stop using her as a caregiver for a while because of it, but couldn't permanently because I have bad days where I cannot care for my baby independently. Baby is now 6.5 months and eating solids, but I have to try and remember and make excuses as to why he cannot eat what the rest of the family eats. I caught something finally, some type of brutal food poisoning. I couldn't keep down water for almost 48 hours. 24 of which I could not be woken. I would have went to the hospital if I had insurance. Honestly surprised I made it this far without it happening, but I can't recover fully. I've been sick still for 2.5 weeks. I am almost 100% sure it's because I keep being exposed to the bacteria that caused it. The only thing I can think of to try and do is simply stop eating, but I am very hungry. If I ask for food, she will simply give me more of what is making me ill. It's not that she doesn't have a fridge or it doesn't work, she just doesn't understand how germs work whatsoever. I have literally heard her in Spanish telling my husband to put the milk for his cereal into the fridge to cool off so he doesn't get sick because it has been on the counter overnight. I also have to throw out the baby's food after every use because if I don't, she will take it out of the fridge so he doesn't get sick from the cold in the food. My husband literally has no understanding that the food has gone bad, that's why it tastes better the first day. There's even a 2-day defrost the meat on the counter thing they do that is also low-key terrifying, and then just leaving raw meat in the fridge for 1 or 2 weeks like the fridge makes bacteria impossible. Is there even a conversation that I can have? What is it? That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, "Are you able to clean after she cooks and put stuff in the fridge?" Our second commenter says, "Here is a site with recommendations for food safety. There is also a Spanish version. Link." Our third commenter says, "You are in someone's home who is old enough to be a grandmother. She won't be changing her ways. You replied to me already saying that she does not like when you put food away. Me personally? I don't care, I would put it away anyways. As for your husband, educate him. If he's closed off to being educated and you fear that you or your child will be fed rotten food throughout your life together, leave. If you can get through to him, have him apply through a temp agency. The United States isn't the only place that uses temp agencies, but you'll have to look for your specific area. Quick. Have you applied for a temporary employment visa? You are going to have to get creative to make money. You are absolutely responsible for what your child is fed no matter the situation. If it means you have to move back to where you came from to work, do it. Otherwise get creative. Yard work, cleaning, babysitting, dog walking, training, etc. Get with it. You bet your ass I would do anything to make sure I am not killing my child putting harmful pathogens into his gut. If you are physically incapable of this work, light a fire under your husband's ass to do so. Yes, I am being harsh. You're not just talking about you being sick. You have a baby here's life you are putting at risk, so unfortunately I feel you might need a reality check. Get the fuck off of Reddit and find solutions now. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.